Thing when you come in for bingo is you get your bingo bag and you need to count all of your money. Your starting cash is $64.54 today. It'll be different other days, but you always have a cash bank of $200 that is used for while you're selling cards and while you're doing prizes. 3 bundles of jackpots. Those are if somebody wins the blackout jackpot. Only use them for jackpots. So now you're going to count a bundle for each game. White is the first, red is the second, orange is the third. You want to make sure there's 50 cards in each bundle to start with. At Jimmy V's and Scapegoat, there should only be 25 cards in each bundle. Next, you are going to open your card sales, but first you want to make announcements that we are having bingo tonight, what time bingo starts, what games there are, what they are playing for. So your first bingo onto blackout for that 57 numbers for the prize, and so on. Explain all 3. And then you can open your card sales after you've done that. You open card sales for each game separately, except for here at Bucks you sell all 3 games at one time. So 3 cards, 1 for each game, is a $10 packet. At Jimmy V's and Scapegoat, 1 card is $1 and you sell them per game. So at Jimmy V's and Scapegoat, for your first game, you'll just sell cards for game 1. So you're just gonna sell these ones one at a time, however many people want. When you're at Bucks, you sell 1 card for each game at the beginning. So you sell them 1, 2, 3 for $10. They cannot buy separate cards, individual cards. It's bundles of $10. They can buy 2 of them for $20, 3 for $30, and so on. Once you have sold your cards about 5 minutes before you're going to start bingo, you do a last call for bingo cards. So first you open it, then you do a last call. When everybody is done, you close it before you start your bingo session. After you are done selling cards for your first game, you will then complete your bingo daily session report in your paperwork packet. Number that you started with, so you start with your bundle. Then you go how many you have left to figure out how many you have sold. At Jimmy V's and Scapegoat, they sell for $1 a card. Bucks will be different because they sell for $10 a pack. So because Bucks is classified as more of an extreme bingo with the $5,000 jackpot always for that third and final game, we do it a little different here. You're gonna want a separate piece of paper to keep track of your sales for each game. They should be the same, but if somebody comes in at game 2 or 3 and wants to play, you still sell a bundle of 3 cards for $10. The first card is just void if you're on the second. If you're on the third game, the first and second card are void. So now we will figure out what our game prizes is for each bingo game. You will use your gross proceeds, so your game sales, and then the sheet will tell you what your percentage is. Some are going to be 20, 30, 25, 40, just depends. You need to make sure you're checking your sheet. When you are figuring out your blackout prize, you wait to make sure that nobody gets the jackpot within the, if nobody reaches that jackpot prize, then you will need to figure out your prize for that one based off of your game sales like you did the first one. Figuring out prizes for Bucks, since it's a little different, you will figure out your prize for your first game based off of the cards that you have sold. If more cards are bought for the second and third game, that still counts as more card sales for game 1 or game 2, but the prizes for those games don't change since they are already done. Just remember that your prizes go based off of your gross proceeds, not your card sales, because at Bucks, your gross proceeds are more than $1 per card, so you need to go based off of that proceed amount. Now you will start your bingo game. There's one more announcement that you need to complete, and it is the second set of announcements before you can start your game. That is the rules of bingo. After that, you will then continue on with your first game. You need to be recording each number as they are called, and you need to make sure you're keeping track of the jackpot number and giving a warning 10 numbers before that number is called. When somebody does call a bingo, they bring their card up to you. You verify that it is a winning bingo by looking at the numbers that are in the bingo compared to the ones that have been called. Then the person who has won needs to complete the prize register. They only need their name, not their address, and the amount that they have won. Somebody does bring you a winning bingo, you need to record the free space number in the series card number section on your bingo caller number report, because they need to know which card won that bingo. Also, when figuring out your 10 numbers remaining for your jackpot, remember you need to count back the actual number, because 50 to 60 is 11 numbers. 51 to 60 is 10. At Bucks, we use an iPad system that connects to the TVs here. We also use this at Lucky 13's bingo. But at Jimmy V's and Scapegoat, we will have an automatic ball puller that you need to use by yourself. This is the iPad that we use for bingo at Bucks. To start your bingo session, pick Play Bingo. So to start the game, you push Play Bingo. Then this one is from last night's session, so it's already filled in for the most part, but I can still show you how to use it. Every time you want to call a number, you push RNG, the random number generator, and it gives you a new number. Then you record that on your sheet, and you continue on until somebody calls a bingo. Everybody playing can see everything on this screen, so they can see what game they are playing for and the numbers that are called. Once somebody has called a bingo and you've done all of your recording and you've paid them, you clicked next. Then it takes you to your blackout game, game number 2. You continue on until you need to go to your next game, and so on. With this iPad, never unplug it. There is a restart button on the power strip. If it is acting up, you can restart it, but never unplug it and never turn it off. Just click the button on top to lock the screen.